What's up,
A
music
very
to
good
Dangerous Sada?
afternoon to all the viewers. Festive greetings to all of you from Saga Group of Institutions. So today we are up for our eighth session in a row under Placement Trends 2020, where we are discussing about hiring patterns and change technology. So allow me to welcome a very special guest of today, Mr. Sachin Ahuja, Assistant General Manager, Renault Nissan. Welcome, sir. And it's
Thank
entirely
you.
our pleasure that we are having you on this festive season and you're sparing some time for us and for our students. So today's
Good
session is
afternoon, Sachin.
basically for
Welcome.
Good
so
afternoon,
today
everyone. And
we are up
yes,
for this
Prachi, please
particular
complete.
session, especially designed for mechanical and automobile industries. So, Mr. Sachin, I just wanted to expel this particular thing to you that our students are desperately waiting to hear something from the automotive industries. Allow us to have a series of pattern where we are discussing about the hiring and the change technologies. Welcome, Sachin.
Thank you, Prachi, for the warm welcome and introduction. Thank you, Mayank, for inviting me for this session. It feels good after a long time to be back with the students and feel young and share the experience. And welcome and good afternoon to everyone who all are connected from Facebook also. And I believe you said that specific session for automobile and mechanical students. But I believe you would have also students connected from electronics, computer science, and so on. Or it's purely the mechanical and
Of course.
automotive guys connected. Okay, yes.
No,
So
no, no.
why
We
is
have all the students from respective branches.
okay? Why I said this because that notion has gone past that automobile is something for mechanical or automotive engineers. That is something per se, yes, but a car in the present context is becoming a consumer product. So it is no more a play field only for the automotive or mechanical engineers. It is very well an interdisciplinary product which involves computer science and electronics and everything. And most of the what I would say new advancements in this field is purely coming from the this background. The car still has the same engines IC engine that used to be there age old and still has the same kind of body. Whatever is changing in the new trend is all coming from field of electronics, computer science, and so on. So very well, automotive is a field of interest not only for the mechanical or automotive guys, it's for everyone. Yes. So that's what I would set the chord for everyone. So to see this field is purely open for everyone, and how the world is changing, everything is becoming so interdisciplinary. It's no more the play field only for some specific guys.
All
Yes.
right. So, in the previous year, we talked about, the running statistics of particular automotive sector and everything, whether we are talking about pre-COVID or the during COVID session. Are you actually commit for something like, why these statistics is going downwards and what is the basic reason towards that? And are we actually looking forward for this industrial growth during pandemic or you can say post-COVID?
Okay, when you say statistics, I understand you're talking particularly about the automotive industry or purely about the sales trend of the cars in the market.
Yes.
See, if you see for past like I would say 4 5 years, leaving let's say if we talk about India's leave aside the Maruti Suzuki scenario, and if you see in the global context, Maruti Suzuki is hardly a global player. So it's not because of the pandemic that the automotive industry was, I would say, struggling to keep up the pace, and it was already shrinking. There are many factors for that. I would say because in the last decade there are a lot of challenges that this industry is facing. One of the challenges purely coming up from the investments which are needed to keep up with the future. For example, today it is very much unclear where the in the companies the car manufacturers should be investing. They should be focusing on the electric vehicle technology. You see a lot of buzz about evs, and there are some car companies doing good, but that is still a very short percentage of the global car sales. So, and it is a long and I would say big capital investment that companies have to do, which is not clear. Sometimes we hear about the hydrogen technology with the hybrid, which is also not clear. Then the ever-changing market demands of each specific countries. And these days, car is becoming like a fast-moving consumer good. You need a new, fresh design, a new technology every year and then. Go back when we used to be kid, how many models we used to have and how often these models used to change. And see, in the present scenario, a model which is launched this year becomes obsolete in couple of years, or if it is not, you have to continuously refresh it. So to summarize, there is a big challenge of investments on one side, and in return of these investments, it's not clear whether it should be focused on electric, EV, hybrid, or entering new markets. And companies have a lot of pressures, and consumer demand is so dynamic. European product cannot be suited for Indian needs, and if you need an India product, you need to do a particular investment separately for that. So these are the challenges that automotive industry was already facing, and this pandemic in general has affected all the industries because it has curbed the demand. Every industry works on the principle of supply and demand. If there is demand, there is supply. That means there is business. You can superficially create a demand for some time. For example, nobody needs a Coke. You won't die without a Coke. Coke doesn't take you from point A to B, but you still drink a Coke. So they have created a superficial demand by a lot of good marketing and so on. You can still do that, but to an extent, and car is such, is not a tight kind of a product. Take example, General Motors shut their operations in India before COVID, and Volkswagen, the biggest car manufacturer in the world, was struggling on the Indian market. They have everything, money, market share, engineers, design, but was not working out. So to say that there were challenges, this pandemic has only, I would say, multiplied them. So today the trend is very much downwards. We see some recovery today. For example, when we compare the car sales of month of July 2020 versus 19, we see an increasing trend. That is because again now car is becoming more like a personal aspiration. Few months before, people were talking about why we need a car. We have Ola, Uber. There's no need to take a car. But now people need personal car because they want to be feel safe. Last month, I had to travel to Bhopal for some emergency from Pune. I didn't took a flight. I didn't took a train. I took a car, and that was the time I realized why I needed a bigger car. So this is somewhere changing the scenario post pandemic. But overall situation is quite challenging. Yes, I agree on that. I don't know. Maybe I sound too much confused.
No, no, sir. I'm able to understand whatever you're saying.
No,
Okay.
it was the reality, and we should accept that. We are
Yeah,
not
yeah.
on the very fabricated industry, like everything is happened for the
Mhm.
benefit of the consumer or something. There are something pitching of reality, and we should know about this.
Yes.
And specifically, if you talk about the Renault Nissan and talking about the all the competitive advantage, what you can consider about a particular brand as far as your competitors are stable. So, what exactly the pattern and technology? Anything new you are up to, or fighting this COVID towards raising this particular brand?
Okay. So first, I will give you a brief background about Renault Nissan. In fact, now it's the Renault Nissan and Mitsubishi.
It's a,
So most of you may know Renault is a French car company, and Nissan is a Japanese car manufacturer, and Mitsubishi also. I don't know exactly the year, but somewhere around 20 years earlier, Nissan was somewhere about facing bankruptcy, and they were struggling to run their operations. They were out of cash, a lot of debt, and that was a time when the French car company Renault came forward, and they wanted to make an alliance with the Nissan, which is nothing but they helped with them cash, paid off the debt, and which was financed by the French government. So what was done unique generally when these things happens, one company take over the another company, and they merge them within their brand name or operations. But this is where Renault did really something which was unique. They didn't took over the operations directly. They created something they called as an alliance with a cross shareholding, which means Renault owned X percentage of share in Nissan, and Nissan owned X percentage share in Renault, and they both worked together as one group. This is something I was sharing an example with Moyank. For example, Sagar has got a lot of businesses. They have engineering colleges, couple of them, and there are the construction business. but actually they are part of one group, one alliance. In the same way, Renault Nissan formed one alliance, and at that time there was Mr. Carlos Ghosn, who was given the chairmanship of Renault and CEO of Nissan, and he worked 20 years to bring both of the companies together. And I would say before the pandemic, a couple of years before, this company was almost the world's largest company in terms of volumes, even ahead of Volkswagen. And 3 4 years before, I think the similar situation was there with Mitsubishi. So Nissan did the similar investment in Mitsubishi and made an alliance with them. So today, together on the world level, we operate as an alliance, Renault, Nissan, and Mitsubishi, where we work together on common interests, but the identity of each company is maintained. And to share with you what is meant by common interest, and this will also touch upon the point where you were talking about the strength these brands bring together. In India, these companies, Renault, Nissan, work together in a common manufacturing facility, which is in Chennai. So they produce the cars for Renault and for Nissan in the same manufacturing plant, and most of the operations which is not seen by the customer, for example manufacturing, purchasing, engineering, it is done together as one team. Only the sales and marketing outlets are different to create a different experience. If you see, the Renault car would be a different design. For example, the Renault Quid, it looks different than Datsun Go. But technically, both products are built on the same platform with the same engineering mindset, but given a different design. So this is where we talk about an alliance where you work together, you bring economies of scale, you have common engineering, you have common purchasing, you have common supply chain, common logistics, common manufacturing. What is unique is purely marketing and sales, because that is a different experience altogether. So this is how these two companies operate together. And if you see, this trend is coming up a lot. You would have heard Ford making an alliance with the Mahindra in India. You have recently seen Fiat Chrysler making an alliance with the Peugeot Group of France, PSA. Why is this happening? This is happening because, as I said, the car is becoming fast a consumer product where it needs a lot of investments with the new technology and changes coming fast, and all these things need a lot of investments, and companies don't want to put that much of money plus time. So they make alliances and they share common interests and they share common expenses, bringing economies of scale, yet maintaining individual identity of the two products, which appeals to the customer. So this is something which is the trend in how the automotive companies are working together. You would have seen recently, even Suzuki and Toyota did that.
Suzuki
Suzuki
Toyota.
Bolero became Toyota Glanza. Why was it needed? Suzuki is quite big and strong in India. They hold a lot of market share and they have operations. Toyota is a world leader in terms of product but struggling in India. So they also needed the same advantage of Suzuki. So they did this alliance. In return, what Toyota gave to Suzuki is cooperation to do the electric vehicle technology, which is going to be the future. So this is where we talk about alliances where I help you with my strengths and you help me with your strengths, so that the common interests are served and we work together. So this is how the business of automotive is changing, and the future lies ahead. Speaking particularly in terms of the product, which is nothing but a car, as I'm saying repeatedly, it is becoming a fast moving consumer product. So the car is no more seen as a product just to go from point A to B. It is becoming more like a personal accessories. That's why you see the design and look and feel has to be very important, and it is becoming a technological advancement. You see the recent trends which MJ had brought. The connected cars is the new thing which we are talking about, and this is where, let's say, in the beginning, the car used to have only one motor, which was the engine. These days, a car could have 300 plus motors. Out of that, only one is the engine. What are the other motors doing? They are doing a lot of automatic functions. When you talk about climate control, when you talk about temperature controlled seats, when you talk about, you can set the temperature of your car from your mobile phone. Let's say you are in the office, your car is standing out. By the time you will leave at 6, you want your car's temperature to be very much ambient as you want. You can do it with your mobile phone. And connected cars, you can control operations of your computer from your car or your car from your computer. You can make a telephone call from the car directly. A lot of things. So this is where I was talking about that it is becoming a more advanced technical product. And just for seeing this, you go on LinkedIn and look for the kind of job vacancies that you see on the most of the branded car companies. You will see majority of them talking about new technologies. So this, I'm connecting the thread and bringing it to where the youngsters who are in the final years would be more interested, where it connects you to the future. So if you see today any car company hiring a paint shop engineer or production engineer or a designer, very less. What are the majority of the openings and hiring going? It is for the future technology. They are talking about people who can work on UI and UX. This is something you speak a lot on a computer science background. UI and UX is user interface and user experience. That means when you open a software or a tool, what is your experience, UX and user interface, how it should be designed. This is something they are talking about to bring the similar feeling and products inside the car. Connected cars, they're talking about all the data science and technology and so many of those things. Hardly you will see a paint shop guy, they are looking for a manufacturing engineer, something like this. And I don't know if you follow the stocks trend. Tesla today is the most valuable car company
Car
in terms of
company.
stock value,
Yeah.
even ahead of BMW, when it is hardly one tenth of the BMW's market
Selling market.
capitalization. This is purely because people are betting on the future. Even though Renault and Nissan are the market leader in terms of electric vehicles, but still most valuable share is of Tesla because people are betting for the future. This is where I should say, if you guys as youngsters who are in their final year or the third year should see, when you pass out, what will be the demand of the everyone wants a lucrative job. uh, why would that happen? Lucrative jobs means good salary or the best salary and very good benefits. That will happen purely with the demand and supply scenario. What will be in demand, and if it is in shortage, they will be paid well. So what is in demand today in automotive industry is people with new skill sets. And you cannot go into the market just being a mechanical or automotive engineer, which is the basic everyone will ask, but they will also ask for the kind of skill sets which are unique and talk about the future. I could connect this also where it could be a good confidence booster for everyone. Like when you go out in the job market, you will see that I'm coming from Bhopal or Jhansi, a small town, and there would be people from, let's say, IITs, NITs, and all the best of the engineering colleges. So you need to think what difference you can make. Nobody can go back and change their engineering score, and you can't change it. Like somebody's from IIT, you are not. Somebody's from NIT, you are not. This is something you can't change. But what you can change is make a difference. Take this example. Today is coronavirus everywhere. Now somebody got corona positive, and you have an option of choosing between two doctors. One doctor is an AIMS pass out, MBBS, and after that, MS General Medicine from CMC Vellore, two of the best medical colleges of India. And the other doctor is a pass out of Gandhi Medical College in Bhopal. And again, he has done his MS, but his MS is something very specific, let's say immunology and coronavirus pandemic. Which doctor will you choose?
Second
I
one,
believe you
Gandhi.
will be. I would believe you will ignore somebody from AIMS and CMC, and you will talk about what is relevant today. That Baba, this doctor is good at treating coronavirus. This patient and his specialization is in that way, even though he passed out from a local college. This is what will happen when you guys will pass out, and this is where you can make a difference. For example, let's say you both went to, I'm taking an example of Milind and Deepak because they are here. You both guys went to for an interview in the automotive company. They are hiring GETs. Thousands of application came from all over India. Now, first basic criteria will always be your past performance, which is your grades and scores. Like if I have to judge whether you will be doing good in future, I will see whether you have done good in the past. So this is a basic criteria which everyone has to satisfy. So they will put a cut of 70%, 80%, gate scorecard, blah blah blah, which is bare minimum. Everyone has to satisfy that. Let's say they have 10 vacancies, and they 10,000 applications came, and they shortlisted 100 people purely on scores. So this is where your college degree acts as an entry ticket, and that should always have a better score. Everything else is secondary. So this cutoff is just the criteria. Now 100 people are inside, 10 have to be selected. This is where now everything else which is unique about you other than your scores will make a difference. And again, I give you an example. I needed a designer, and there is one guy, Milind from Bhopal, and there is another guy is coming from some NIIT, plus maybe a master's from IIT in design. Good. But now I see I am going to collaborate with an Italian company on these designing. And Milind speaks Italian. This is where Milind makes a big differentiator. He encompasses that IITian or an IITian guy. So this is where I'm also bringing up that how in any field, be it manufacturing, automotive, computer science, pharmaceutical, your technical skills are very much required. But how you can outpace the competition is your additional skills, which is sometimes clubbed as soft skills, people skills, attitude, aptitude, and so on. So you need to bring some uniqueness in yourself that you act as a differentiator. Now, this uniqueness also has to be in line with the goal or the mission of the company or that particular assignment. Let's say this, in case I was hiring some GTs to work on designing, and nobody knew this, but I knew in this designing we have to collaborate with Italian company, and I know the guy speaking Italian will add a lot of value. The only thing I would ensure that he is still good in engineering. That process HR has taken care of by filtering 70% on the criteria. After that, honestly speaking, most of the scenarios and most of the professional companies know, and you would have read it in the media, that our education system hardly produces work ready engineers. Everybody needs to be given a training. So, most of the companies or people like us, when we take interviews, we see that basic technical fundamentals should be there, hardworking, disciplined attitude should be there. After that, we will teach everything. We know that. But what is the difference two people will make in their aptitude, discipline, soft skills, and so on? Let's say Italian language. I cannot teach somebody an Italian language in few months, 3 months, but I can still refresh their design skills and assign them a mentor in a few months. They will be up and running. So I connected the thread from the automotive industry to the car as a product, and how this product is changing and becoming interdisciplinary, and how people who wants to make a career in future in this industry should be thinking on and preparing themselves, and what
That's so beautiful.
differentiation you can make.
I guess you are reading the minds of the viewers as well, because you have entirely communicated the each and every little thing in your conversation.
Yes.
Like each and every viewer, might get to know about this automobile, because what is happening outside world, these people are getting so much addicted with the media conversation, and they thought, without asking anyone, without having a research in their mind, they just thought that this particular dynamism is not looking for a good engineers or something, because
Mhm.
their stats are going downwards. So whether these
Mhm.
industries will not welcome GTs in the future. But this completely and entirely depends upon the particular brand and how they survive. For example, you have provided us a length about the that curve technology. Of course, each and every strategic move of any brand will give us a potential to a particular company, that how they will
Mhm.
deviate their curve towards the upside or downside. So here
Yes.
in the particular conversation, we have Milind. Milind have done a lot many things on designing. So Milind, could you
Okay.
please elaborate and ask sir about the same?
So basically, the first thing I wanted to ask you was about concept cars. Like most of the companies spend millions of dollars on making concept vehicles, and
Mhm.
like most of which do not even which are not even operational many times.
Mhm.
So like, what is the point of investing such a lot of money in concept cars when you like when only for the purpose of like telling the future technologies in the design language? Like, is it worth it of all is it worth all the money that is being spent on this
Okay.
on the concept cars?
Okay, there are two reasons why these kind of activities are done. I would try to bring more parallelism. What is the fundamental use of going to Mars? Why we are spending so much money? India has done that, and let's say NASA has done that. UAE recently has done that. What are we going to achieve by going to Mars? Secondly, a lot of automotive companies invest a lot in F1, Formula One. What's the
Yeah,
point?
yeah.
Formula One cars will not run on the road. So which in terms goes to a lot of research and development, and concept cars is kind of R&D of design background people, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So there are two purposes. One, a lot of things that we see, discover, or invent during the concept designing of the cars be of no good use, which is fine, or may not be possible to bring into serial life manufacturing. But in this process, we discover few things that could be a breakthrough. For example, I will again bring the space technology to operation theaters. Some of the things that were designed by NASA to let the astronauts work on the repair of the space stations or something like that, where you develop the very small actuators, robotic actuators for them to repair those stuff, small circuit boards of a spacecraft. These technologies were used to do long distance operations. So you got the connection. Same way,
Yeah.
sometimes when we spend a lot of millions on concept cars, some may not be actually production ready, but some technology will add value. Uh, turbocharging. Turbocharging was developed for Formula One, but today
Yeah.
turbocharging is used a lot to produce more powers for this from the smaller engines. So this is where it connects. Second, softer area is to bring the brand appeal. Same way, you see a fashion show, the kind of clothes they show, nobody's going to wear those clothes unless until you are Ranveer Singh. Or what's the point? They talk about the culture and ideas and innovation, creativity, and they showcase it for the public, which creates a brand's perception and a brand awareness and a brand value. There are few takers for that, but most of them are not. But then part of it is taken as an inspiration to do a serial life production or so on. So to summarize, one is to create brand awareness and brand connect and brand appeal, which is very important. And second, a few of those things do actually go sometimes into the serial life car production, which could be a breakthrough. For example, one example was turbocharger. Same way is Formula One. Why do companies invest a lot in Formula One? What Red Bull achieved in Formula One, they have nothing to do with automotive, and Red Bull is the major sponsor of the Formula One car racing. They
Yeah.
try to make an association with the product and the public mindset. So it's the same way as concept cars. First, brand awareness, marketing of the brand, create a buzz in the market, and do the connect, which is a softer side. And another is sometimes, yes, you do develop or innovate some technologies which will then go into the serial life car production. So this is why we do, the car companies do concept cars.
All right.
Okay. So
Uh,
when vehicles, yeah, go ahead, ma'am.
yeah, yeah.
Yes,
Please
Milind, you
continue.
can complete.
Yeah, so when a company, like suppose it is Tata, like the design head of Tata, like I was in a seminar, like he was taking a seminar. So in that he was explaining that if they have to make a vehicle, like they decide that we are work, suppose they want to work on sedan. So
Hmm.
when they start designing it today, so they will design it such that they are like thinking they would have to manufacture it 5 years later.
Hmm.
So they
Yes.
design the beginning of the design takes place thinking of the vehicle to like thinking of what the vehicle should be in 5 years time.
Okay.
So
Yes,
like
I agree.
because yeah, so like for the past say for around 5 6 months at least. So because of the this COVID situation, so like I wanted to understand how the design process of like for the different companies would be affected because of this situation.
Okay, I would say design has nothing to do with this COVID pandemic. Maybe some features could come inside a car, like
Not
the
design,
for
sir.
yeah.
Not as per design. Like the overall process of new vehicles coming up in that stuff.
Yes, I'm touching on that. So let
Okay.
me first connect on the design front. So yes, how the design is being decided. For example, I'm going to launch a new product into the market, which will come like 5 6 7 years down the line. That's the average product cycle lead time. What should be the design? Now, first is I would try to see the category. If you see in the past many years, the sub SUV segment has grown like anything. Previously,
Yeah.
SUVs used to be big, Tata Safari, Fortuner.
Yeah.
Now you have got small crossover SUVs. So somewhere I could see that this is the new aspiration coming in. People like SUVs. People like to sound premium and rich, but they are not ready to spend 20 lakhs for a Safari or a Fortuner, but they need it in 7, 8, 9 lakhs. So I could see this is the segment. Then I need something as a fresh design. I would take this credit for Renault. If you see, Renault was a company in India and nobody knew, and suddenly came Duster.
Yeah.
Then everybody started realizing Renault. And if when I was in this company, I would say I work for Renault. They would like say what company? I would say then Duster. Then they were able to associate it. What was the main reason for Duster's breakthrough? Purely, it was a segment breaker in terms of a design. You could see it looks like an SUV also. It looks like a car also, and it was fresh. Anything which is unique and fresh attracts to the market. So as a designing, when you are designing cars or the designers are working on the cars, one thing they see is the segment portfolio. They have to target, let's say, mid-size SUV. Then they would see there has to be some freshness and uniqueness into this design which will appeal the mass, which Duster did. And after that, of course, they see that all the features inside the car. Somewhere this is where some companies will take very bold steps. They could really fail, but some companies would take bold step, but they could really be successful. I don't know if you were able to see, since you are into designing, were you able to see the Tesla Cybertron truck?
Yeah. Yeah. I saw the whole presentation.
Simply see that Cybertron truck and its
Yeah.
design,
Yeah.
and you
Yeah.
put all the companies' design, they will be more or less same. Some
Yeah.
curves here and there, but nobody challenged it to be completely unique. But
You
the
broke the
person who was
stereotype.
working, the person who was working on Cybertruck did that. Now, if this is received well by the company, everybody applauds. But sometimes these things can go really bizarre, and people will not appreciate. So it is a risk somewhere. Designing is very close to like something you do fashion. What is in fashion? What people want. Sometimes the fashion could be really good and appreciated and applauded, and sometimes it may not be. Having said that, whatever you design should always take care of the basic purposes. So this is something which goes into designing, and there are a lot of things. I'm not from the design background, but I could speak because from the industry I have seen these changes. This is one. And second, then you were talking about how pandemic will affect this car designing and the other things. It will not, because for example, if I say, if because of the pandemic, what kind of fashion will come, it has nothing to do. Fashion has nothing to do. Only fashion would come will be on mask, but most of the fashion of the clothes, accessories, more or less fine. It's same with the cars. After pandemic, yes, there could be some new features that could come inside a car. For example, I was talking about something which is auto sanitization. You press a button and some spray comes and it sanitizes your car seats and everything, and voila, you're good to go. Or something like this, a sanitation case. You came inside your car, you put your wristwatch, your gloves, or your mobile, and you press a button. Ultraviolet rays sanitizes your small belongings. So these things can come as a features, but in my opinion, more or less design could be the same. Or maybe when we paint a car, we could say this paint is virus repellent. Like you would have seen some people do some kind of coating on the car. It is dust repellent and water repellent. Why not virus repellent? So these things could come. This is all my wild guesses. I don't know if somebody is working on that, but again, coming from the background, I could speak. My background is not engineering, not design. My background is into supply chain. So whatever I speak of technicalities of products and evolution is purely from the experience, how I see it and how I experience it when I see corporate presentations, what the product planning people or designers or engineering guys are talking about.
And that's how you are adding to the commercial angle to it. It does not matter what background you're coming from, but still your
Yeah.
experience does matter every time, because you're watching
Some,
this throughout a decade, and it is very
yes.
more relevant because all the suggestion you have inculcated, it must be from the particular, it could be inculcated in a particular research as well, because
Yep.
yes, this is the need of a post COVID era, and each and every design has to inculcate all these particular strategic features so that the car moves on a particular sale.
Yes,
So
and
this
I
commercial,
would touch
yeah.
this point again, bring it back to young students. You said that they work 5 years ahead in time for the car design that will be launched 5 years down the line in the market. Same way, every student, you have to see yourself as a product, and you are going to launch yourself in a year's time into the market. How you can do a differentiation. When companies do launch their products, they do a product planning where they see the segment, in which segment my product would be playing on. Me as an engineer, I would be playing on into segment of IIT's other segment. Maybe I could compete with the IIT guys or something like this. Then you will talk about which stream I'm going to target, where I am good at, or there are two ways you people go for the career. Some go with the passion. If you have a passion, it's very easy and clear, you just go for it. Sooner or later you will excel, even if you don't make much money, but you will be happy. Some people want to make money, then you need to see what is the trend, what is the demand supply gap, what will sell, and how would you prepare for that, and how you could make a differentiation. One thing I shared, for example, I gave an example of speaking a foreign language. Other things you could see is something which is coming new. As I said, go and log into the websites, LinkedIn, and see of the major car companies or any company that you are interested to go for, what kind of jobs they are posting, and go for a skill which will become too strong and relevant in 3 4 years down the line, and then see what you could do to acquire that skill. Maybe by learning or some certification, or purely by doing some kind of an internship. So this is something where you could work upon and prepare yourself to launch yourself as a product into the market. You guys are into final year, you got 1 year time. And when I say don't see this box, I mean just final year, what's the point now? I cannot do anything. No, you have a lot of time, because your career is just starting and you will be working till you are 55. That's the retirement age. So you have to do the continuous improvement. Like for example, take me. When I graduated, we never heard the word supply chain. We heard the word little bit about logistics and ABC analysis and blah 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 in the industrial engineering chapter. That's it. I was not even aware of this scenario. Maybe this will I will connect with my background. So I graduated, and in the final year, I believe we had this university entry scheme for the Indian Navy. So they came up with a presentation and blah blah blah, and it sounded like so fantastic. I was like, wow, I would do this, and I just applied. I gave the SSB. I got recommended also, but then I could not make it into the medical. I was rejected because of short sightedness. So that is something, was the first time I got something liking. उससे पहले तो सब भेड़चाल चल रहा था. So I got it attracted towards navy and all that, and realized बॉस अब ये Indian Navy तो है नहीं, because of medical, let me go for merchant navy. Then I googled merchant navy. The biggest name came in front was a company called Maersk. It's a European company, headquarters in Copenhagen. You would have seen their containers on railway lines. I was the first time I realized this is the company. I applied there. There also same scenario. I was rejected to be a sailor because of medical situations. But since I was good in their all the processes, they offered me a job in their office. That was the first time I realized something called supply chain and how it works. So from there, my journey started, and I ended up into supply chain and move on. But what I have learned then and what I see the future, the supply chain is also changing. Supply chain is no more from going from point A to B. That part is taken care by truck owners, the trucking companies. But what the engineers will do is something you see today about all technology. Supply chain is also becoming a technology. I would say anything you touch is becoming a technology. I have explained you how car itself is becoming a technical product. When I say technology, I'm more inclined towards the software part of it. By the time you guys will graduate and another 10 12 years, the electric cars will become maybe cheaper, and you will see most of the cars electric. Nobody would be interested in an engineer who is quite good in IC engines. So this is where you have to look upon, wherever you want to make a career, in which industry you see that industry, and then you drill down to the function and see how that function is evolving and will evolve, and you start preparing yourself in that way, so that you become lucrative in 3 4 years down the line, and you can command. And I will also connect this. If you have such skills, you give a damn to any pandemic or a recession or so on, because you are always in demand. So that's how everyone should invest in yourself in skill development to have the skills which are very much in demand into the market. And another point, the scenarios have
Right.
become very different. When we were in your age, we were not having a lot of access to this online education and so on. There were no Coursera and there was no much of LinkedIn. Today, you have got some really good quality education available online. You can learn directly from a MIT or a Harvard professor sitting where you are. So use these options and hone your skills, make yourself future ready. And one more thing I will change, never see yourself down by saying that I am not from NIT or IIT, because this will fade away. This is the mindset of the Indian companies. They will post a job, they will write NIT, IIT, and blah, blah, blah. You see the job posted by companies like Google, Walmart, Facebook, forget it, Microsoft, Amazon. They will never mention IIT, NIT, and blah, 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 because they are coming from this mindset that this is nothing to do with that. Sometimes it's easy for their industry. They will launch a hackathon and ask all of you to participate. Whosoever wins their hackathon, that person is good. Doesn't matter he is from IIT or NIT. Same way the trend will come for everyone. So feel confident. Never look upon this. I also studied in Bhopal. I never went to IIT or IIM. Later I did, but at that time I was not when I graduated. So I used to think that it's a big deal. But I would say when I came inside the company and I worked at par with some of the IITians and ISB's fellow, and I did really well and moved ahead with those people because of pure performance, I realize it's no big deal. Only thing is, yes, sometimes that filtration acts as an access. Company believes that they are filtered by a rigorous exam, so they are good talent. And another thing is the exposure. The intelligence is something that you learn with time. The only difference these big institutes make is they give a very good exposure, which is future ready and so on. So this is something I'm talking about. You can still have that exposure now sitting at your home. Go and see what a Harvard is teaching, MIT is teaching, and you have everything available online. Sometimes free of cost, sometimes it's half of the fraction of the cost, and do that.
Very correct, sir.
Alluding that one. Very
Yeah.
correct,
Yeah.
because at a particular point of time we have feel this particular difference, like since last 3 years these engineers are getting into some core trends and core jobs, and talking about the same technology we are working, what we have learned, but they need to take a very smart step towards the demand of the market. And of course, in a little bit of time they have to aggress, and they have to leave one particular thinking in the corner, like they need everything towards the graduation day. It is not possible, because it turns down towards the experience. Once you will be confine yourself in such a technology, and that too with a complete maturity, you will get your way away. And of
Yes.
course, it is not a we are talking about one particular branch. As you said, we have opened up with the IoT segment also, artificial intelligence also. So every integrated branch has to come together to achieve and to elect in for a particular goal. And providing this particular track, they will surely need a particular breakthrough in their particular career. So
Yes.
I would like to invite Deepak to conclude all the discussion in such a mode that it will be released to our viewers, that all main points we have covered.
Sure, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Before this, I would like to say that I remembered a very famous quote that sir said that it's our not abilities that show that what we truly are, it's our choices. And it's whole depend upon us that what we need to go and what we need to do with that. Time before I was reading, like people are being knowing about autonomous vehicles, like being driven by their own. But there was a semi-autonomous vessel where the driver is being override by the systems. Like your vehicle is deciding that the commands that are being given to you, it's a bit wrong, and he is going harsh with his choices. So he
Mm.
overrides that decision. So things are being very good. Even if you're not able to apply the brakes, again things are being done by their own. And but earlier I was reading, I think in early 90s there was keys. Later on we switched to non-keys, and now probably we'll be shifting to the biometric vehicles, and we have come up with like even your fingerprints or something could go on with that. Later on, there was one more change. It was vehicle tracking, I believe. So it was used by the American government so that the people could try about how the vehicle is running, how things are being going on.
Hmm.
So if I believe, sir, these are the very much popping up technologies that we should cope up with, and it's we should believe it that we are a part of a big plan. We should controlize that, and if you, sir, happen to remember, like a head-up display technology was there. I was reading about it. It is being connected to your GPS and everything, and like I could imagine, you could have a best view when you're driving a vehicle, and you can display already on your glasses that what could be the next cross that I'm going to cross it in the next way. Like I could make a turn, and before the turn could be there, my windshield is already showing me that, yeah, Deepak, this is the next road, and Alexa or someone is shouting out, yeah, this could be a next road if you wanna go with that, and it's gonna sometimes brief you about a historic something that. Deepak, this could be this thing structure you're gonna see you, and this was blah 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 blah. So even the cars are being customized according to the needs,
Yes.
and so people should understand that these days hybrid is something very much famous about everything. Like I being a mechanical engineering, it's being good, but if I'll go with the texture and touch of a computer science and communications and everything, so I could have the knowledge of sensors, I could have the grab of the softwares, and the data could be used. So apart from all this, students should always go with those things, and the three things that could be helpful for them, as sir said, are internship, the projects that they'll be making, and the third is the workshops they can go with that.
Yes.
So those small steps could be verified and could be very much usable for these students. And recently I was reading, and Harvard has also released day before yesterday itself a very small course of 6 weeks for the student, and the fees was hardly 1800 or something. I literally believe that the people can go with access to the technology, to the MIT and Harvard, everything around the world. So these are, and we all were shouting out, pandemic is that, things are bad, but we should thank it. It has given us the opportunity so that at very low cost, and of course they won't be giving us if there was normal days. And if this is very good, if the student, because really what happened is you should have that eye, I believe so, should have that vision that maybe it's a disaster, but let me see to turn out, could disaster be something good, maybe it's for others, but maybe an opportunity for me. So this has been a whole soul time for us.
I would say this is a
uh,
change, and every change, if you read something about change management, appeals a
yeah.
group of people and doesn't appeals to a group of people. So this is a change we are going through. Maybe it's the cause is unfortunate. We have a pandemic, people are dying, but this is a change going through, and this change will bring up some new frontiers in way of doing business, some new products. Again, for example, say when we have this, what was it, that notebandi thing, suddenly
Yeah.
the this electronic payment system went too high. Now even a small potato vendor accepts it, and it is reinforced because of this pandemic. Again, people are talking about cashless, contactless exchange. So this is coming
Yes,
up.
sir.
So but
Of
some
course, of
people
course.
did not like it. So in this scenario also, this change is coming up. It will do some disruptions, and if you see the history, something like this has happened at regular intervals of time. And I think since you tried to sum up and what you said is right, I would reinforce the three things you said: internship, products, and so on. But always choose the future. Think yourself as a product and see how I could be future ready. Don't be Kodak, be Fujifilm. People remember Kodak badly. Ah, that company didn't change, it went out of business. But there was another company called Fujifilm. What happened to that company? That company is doing pretty well. They changed with time. They moved to different sectors of business and they are doing pretty well. So give a lot of stress to innovation. Try to look for the future. People who are able to anticipate and proactively see the trend, what is going to be important in the future, and then prepare themselves, they get success in their career or they get success in business. And business is also the same competition. We try to see the product which is future ready. So in the same way, see it to yourself. The choices you
Yes,
will
sir.
make will make a difference. And I could give this one single talisman: always make a choice which is about the future.
Correct, sir. I was even about to say that same line because I read it somewhere that these days people are very much into small SUVs. Like there is a leap growth in the truck sales, but some now people are being desiring for SUV, which has should have motors or an engine of a truck. So people are being very acclimatized and everything. So there was a quote from Lord of the Rings that says, "Make sure." I could use my name Deepak here. Make sure, Deepak, your activities, whatever you are doing for now, it's giving you a profit in coming up 5 years and 10 years ahead. Because if your activities, whatever you're doing now, is being helping out for today and yes, tomorrow itself, then possibly you are outracing yourself.
Okay. Yes.
And that could be a very good test code. So adapt changes, make sure you're ready for it, and keep going. And this could be the best learning anyone could have.
Yes.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am.
Welcome.
Yeah. So it's a beautiful discussion with you, Sachin, and I hope all the viewers had enjoyed a lot because you have already covered all the segments which are, technocrats used to know. And of course, they are in their final years and expecting some good your career path in their automotive sectors. So it's good that you have provided such a line in length and to commercial angle also, so that now they are up to take all these challenges that they have to learn demand-based skill, and they have to come up with such strategic mind that they will create their own path and they will adopt this automobile sector as well. So thanks a
Yes.
lot for joining us today,
Welcome.
and thank you
Thank you
all
so much, Sachin.
that you have spare time
Thank you.
and you have watched it.
Thank you,
Thank you
sir.
so much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you very much, and I wish best of luck to each one of you. Be safe
Thank you.
and be successful. Take care.
Thank
Bye
Thank you,
you.
bye.
sir.
Bye bye.
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 Bye bye,
See
sir.
ya.
Bye, sir.